야, 우치 no 오요메 ne? I sigh. My 90-year-old grandma, or Bachan as we called her, was at it again. Her dementia-fogged mind confused me with my mother, the one she called Oyome-san, daughter-in-law, because my mom had married Bachan's first son. It is the first son's duty to care for his mother. That is how Bachan had come to live with my parents, and after she outlived both of them, it was my duty as their only child to take over caring for Bachan. Not that I minded. My parents left me the house where they and Bachan had raised me, where Bachan had lived since the 60s. My parents also left me their business in Little Tokyo, the Saitama dry goods store, which is where we are now. There is no one I can leave Bachan with while I work, so I have no choice but to bring her with me. The Little Tokyo Seniors Walking Group, which is 90% ladies, walk every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and drop in for ocha, green tea, and gossip. And my Bachan delights in telling the old ladies how the Oyome-san, me, doesn't feed her again. It doesn't matter that I provide Bachan with 3 nutritious, heart-healthy meals and 2 snacks every day. She forgets almost immediately after eating. It doesn't matter that I tell the walking group ladies this fact every time. Someone always gives me a resentful look and slips a mandarin orange, a manju, Japanese sweet treat, or senbei, rice cracker, into Bachan's pocket. I feel like I need to make Bachan wear a sign around her neck, a sign in both Japanese and English that says, "Do not feed." Bachan is hard-headed and stubborn. More flattering souls would call her strong and determined. She had to be, raising 3 kids under the age of 5 by herself in the camps. Growing up, I remember she never took any nonsense from us grandkids. Her favorite word was, and still is, "Kora!" which translates to hey or hey you, but in reality meant one thing: you are in trouble. Her kora rang out almost daily whenever my cousins and I got together after school at home in Altadena. She was the neighborhood's free daycare while our parents were out earning a living. My youngest cousin Mac, Makoto, got yelled at the most. Bachan used to chase him around the house brandishing a rolled-up newspaper. Now I feel like I'm the one running the daycare and Bachan is the one to whom I want to yell Kora. Bachan has a mouthful of gold and silver fillings that remind me of a Bond villain. Her thinning white hair is tucked in a neat bun at the back of her head, and she invariably wears shapeless black-gray dresses that show off her stout calves and her tabi socks. I can always tell when she's near because she wears eau de salon pass, the menthol-reeking, medicated plasters I buy in bulk at Costco for her. When the senior walkers are gone, I successfully fish out a paper-wrapped red bean pastry from Bachan's pocket as my cousins Mac and Ken arrive. They're old men now, and Bachan has trouble recognizing the somber professional Mac with the skinny imp she used to chase around the house with her rafu newspaper. We're all going to help distribute boxes of food for the Altadena fire victims. Mac and Ken were lucky. Their houses were undamaged. I suppose I'm somewhat lucky, if that makes any sense. I'm unlucky because my home is gone, but I'm also fortunate that I still have the tiny apartment above the store to live in. We don't need to stay at a shelter or crowd a relative's home, and I still have the means to earn money and buy food. So I'm luckier than some, unluckier than others. I lock up the storefront while Ken and Mac help Bachan with her walker. She tells my cousins her tale of woe that I'm not feeding her, but they're on to her. The cousins wink at me and cough to cover their laughter. We walk across the busy street to the temple. We're headed to the basement, but Bachan speeds her walker into the main hall before we can stop her. She goes to the front platform where she says her Namu Amida Butsu prayers. I sigh and drag Mac and Ken to her side. We mimic Bachan's prayers and put some small bills into the collection box. After, we make it to the basement where the volunteers are already at work. I situate Bachan and her walker into a chair along the side of the room, admonishing Mac and Ken to keep an eye on her. The men are assigned to distribute the heavier cases of water and canned goods. I get assigned to distribute instant ramen packets. After the war, Altadena was one of the few neighborhoods that allowed minorities like Japanese Americans to settle. We, along with our mainly immigrant neighbors, grew up and went to school there. My parents enrolled me in Japanese language classes at the local temple. I wasn't a good student, but between her broken English and my third grade level Japanese comprehension, Bachan and I can mostly understand each other. And I can converse with the Japanese tourists looking for Otani merchandise and quote them the special inflated for tourist pricing. Thank goodness for Otani. He is the reason the store is still in the black. Saitama Dry Goods started out selling cheap Japanese tchotchkes, taking advantage of favorable exchange rates and catering to American tourists. In the 70s, my mom added a small ramen counter. And with the rising popularity of ramen soup, the small counter expanded to take over most of the space. People used to line up outside waiting for our famous tonkotsu ramen, but since my mom's passing in COVID, I've been struggling to keep the business afloat. If I had to sell the space, I'd be fine. I'm confident I would be able to get a job in retail or maybe finally make use of my degree in finance. But it would mean Bachan would have to go to an adult daycare at minimum, a senior living facility at worst. Bachan would hate it, and I'm certain I'd earn myself a bachi, a retribution from God for such an act. Still, my neighbor Mrs. Fan found Bachan wandering down the street one morning in her jinbei, the old-fashioned cotton kimono top and short pants she wore as pajamas. I didn't even know she'd left the house. Kenny came over right away and installed a motion detector and baby monitor in her bedroom, but I worried that Bachan would get to the point where I wasn't able to take care of her alone anymore. I finished putting a couple of packets of instant ramen into a young woman's box, and when I look up, I see that Bachan is no longer sitting where I left her. Kenny, where's Bachan? He flips his head around and eyes the vacant chair. Mac does the same. I ask one thing, just one, I mutter at them, and then go in search of my errant grandmother. I find her in line, empty cardboard box in hand. She is chatting with a young man who must be a reverend, conspicuous in his timeless saffron robes, shaved head, and tabi socks. I hurry towards her, hoping against hope that she is not telling him how I forgot to feed her. Sumimasen, I apologize, bowing, trying desperately to remember the word for reverend in Japanese. I have no idea how to tell him Bachan has dementia. I speak English. He pronounces the L like an R deliberately. I like him immediately. Oh, thank God. Buddha. He laughs. My Bachan has Alzheimer's. I don't know what she told you, but I feed her 5 times a day. My words are rushed, but I have to get them out before he thinks the worst of me. He's a reverend, after all. He has a direct line to Buddha. I'm pretty sure he'll order another bachi on me if he thinks I mistreat my Bachan. Ah, that explains things, he nods. She is in the middle of explaining how she is grateful we provide shelter for her and her children. Bachan nods and continues to talk in rapid-fire Japanese that I have no hope of understanding. The reverend lowers his voice to me. We have not provided shelter since the war. I believe she thinks we're back in the 1940s. I'm so sorry. I bow and apologize. Come on, Bachan. I tug her sleeve. No, the Reverend says gently. I would like to hear what she has to say. It's like a history lesson. Fascinating. Fascinating is not a word I associate with Bachan. Exasperating pain in the is more like it. I feel a sense of shame that I do not value my Bachan like the Reverend seems to. We find a quiet corner, and the 3 of us sit. Bachan continues to talk. The Reverend provides translation. For the first time, I'm able to see the woman she was, how they were held at the Santa Anita racetrack, lived in a horse stall for a week, how her husband was sent to the Santa Fe camp while she and the kids went to Manzanar, how she never saw her husband again, how she returned from the camps to find her little Tokyo home in ruins. Nana korobi yaoki, she says. I'd heard that phrase before. Bachan chants it at funerals and sometimes shouts it for no reason that I can tell. It was probably some kind of prayer to Buddha. What does that mean? Whatever. Nana korobi yaoki. The Reverend repeats the syllables slowly. It is an old samurai proverb. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. I decide to put Bachan to work, between Ken and myself doling out oranges. She's good at it, offering her Nana Korobi proverb to all those who understand her. And I watch as some walk away with a nod and tears in their eyes. I think about the words and understand them now. We are resilient. We will endure. And later that day, I take Bachan with me back to Altadena to get a first look at the smoldering pile of ashes that used to be our home. We stand side by side looking at the rubble. Nana korobi yaoki. Fall 7 times, stand up 8, I tell her. Bachan smiles, flashing her gold and silver teeth. She pats my arm. Oyome-san, you forget feed me. Thank you.